Prepared to waive the preliminary hearing here today and have this matter bound directly over to district court.
And sir, has anyone threatened you or promised you anything forcing you to waive your right to have a preliminary hearing?
No, Your Honor.
I'll take up the issue of bond then, Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Judge, my client has no real criminal history. He's employed as a police officer before this situation. I would note that he was found low risk by pretrial services. He was given a score of 3. The purpose of the 1-2 mark that he received is because of the fact that he's no longer employed as a police officer anymore, so he's between jobs. So, but for that, he would have scored a 1. He's a lifelong resident of Omaha, Judge. Never had any issues before. I understand the severity of this situation, Judge, and my client does too. I'd like the court to be aware of the fact that my client has been very transparent with law enforcement about this. He immediately reported it to his supervisor. He voluntarily came in and met with the Nebraska State Patrol, answered every question they had. He's been honest. I think that is worth something in this situation, Judge. I think under the circumstances, $50,000, 10% would be wholly appropriate under these circumstances. Thank you.
State want to be heard.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do agree with the pretrial services score of 3. There is a note for lack of employment. He was fired immediately prior to arrest. As to the comment as to his voluntary cooperation, that was after his Instagram account was flagged and suspended for improper behavior. So this triggers law enforcement notification through NCMEC. The low score does reflect, or does not reflect, on the defendant's position of trust as a law enforcement officer in this community. The state expects more of its law enforcement officers. It does not reflect the violation of trust of the victim and her family. The victim has been suffering health consequences from a chronic illness as a result of defendant's actions and the stress from these behaviors. The charges do reflect a year-long grooming pattern. Defendant admitted to a sexual relationship with this young woman who was half his age. I would request a bond commensurate with the seriousness of the offense and the violation of public trust.
Okay. Is the state seeking a no contact condition?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what are the initials of the person you're seeking a no contact condition with?
The state can provide victim information off the record.
If I could just have the initials.
GS.
So, sir, a condition of bond will include no contact with the state's identified witness under the initials GS. You will be subject to pretrial supervision with GPS monitoring. Based on the information provided to the court that the defendant has no prior criminal history and is now subject to pretrial supervision with GPS monitoring. Bond will be set in the amount of $100,000, 10%. Upon posting $10,000, you'd be eligible for release. If you're unable to post this bond, you have the right to a bond review hearing after 24 hours. You must appear for all future court dates. If you fail to appear, additional charges could be filed against you. A warrant issued for your arrest. You could be placed back into custody. I'll find that your waiver of preliminary hearing is done knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. Your case is bound over to the district court. You have a district court arraignment now scheduled for December 1st at 11:30 a.m. in courtroom 8. Again, make certain that you appear for all future court dates. Otherwise, additional charges can be filed, a warrant issued. You could be placed back into custody with the cash bond forfeited, and you are remanded back to the custody of law enforcement.
Thank you, Judge.